I had so much fun with this wood stove when I took him out camping. It was such a joyous experience to be inside a tent and have heat. There's a lot to like about this. I really enjoyed the way that the vent, this screw system here, it doesn't tighten up at all. It's fixed, so you can just adjust it even when everything's hot inside and all the metal expands. It's easy to feed with wood, and there's a bit of an art, I think, to being able to keep the fire going at a certain rate, to keep it constant without it dying down too much. So that's a bit of a learning curve, shall we say, if you've never used one of these before, like I hadn't. If you want to see this in action, check out my last video. I'll tag it at the end of this one. And you'll see how well he worked in a tent. I've got a bit of warping around here with the heat, but it's not too bad. I've never seen one of these fold-up wood stoves that hasn't experienced any tiny bit of warping anywhere. So it's no big deal. You can see the intensity of the heat head into the back of the stove. It's made this gone that beautiful patina blue colour. Oh, I haven't put my stovepipe on, just a sec. When I first slid this stovepipe on, I didn't know if this piece here was supposed to be underneath the cover or not, but it turns out it's not. It needs to come out. And then I was a bit concerned that I might get some smoke coming out from the fire around here, but I didn't get anything at all. So I guess, I don't know if that's to do with the venting when it comes straight up the pipe, or if that's to do with the titanium expands a little, squeezes it together, and so you don't get any gaps or any smoke leakage. Everything worked exactly as it should do, and I was really, really pleased. The stovepipe, that was another learning curve for me. I've never played around with one of these roll-up stovepipes before. What I did, I assembled it, because I hadn't used it before. I assembled it before I actually left the house. I put it in my car, pre-assembled, which was a really, really good idea in the end. Because when I got there, instead of faffing about trying to assemble it, it was already done. Oh, I like these rings, by the way. Oh, come back. I like these rings, by the way. You see some of these titanium stovepipes that roll up. They've got little teeny tiny rings. These are really good and solid. I'm going to try and assemble him now, see if he does have that memory of where he's supposed to go. Oh, you can see from this, he's already trying to curl himself in. Now that's a good sign. What I was trying to say, and unsuccessfully so, was before you assemble this and get heat through it, it doesn't have a memory of where it's supposed to go, like muscle memory. So once you've heated it up, it should know pretty much where it needs to go. I'm going to test that out now. The big ring for this, that goes down stovepipe end, and this is where the top end's going to be. Alright, let's see how easy it is to do now. Let's try, I know. Oh, beautiful. The first time I did this before I left the house, it took me ages with a pair of gloves on, so I didn't cut myself, but it seems to know what it's doing now. Well, there you go. That's the stovepipe rolled up in real time. That was so easy. That was brilliant. Just realised I had my hoodie up. I look as though I'm going to rob the place. That's better. To assemble the stovepipe onto the stove, you've got to open this out a little bit. So the metal goes over the top of this pipe. And then what I did, I pushed the join to the back. Let's tidy him up a bit. It's a bit of a faff. And then push that large ring down, and he sits on there solidly. I won't lie to you, the stovepipe is a little bit of a fiddle to get on, because you've got to kind of unwrap him and then put him over the top of this shaft and then pull down the ring. But that's the same with all these fold up type of chimneys. You've got the convenience of having it fit down into a small space, but you've got the inconvenience of having to set it all up and put it all together. Let me know in the comments what's your preferred way on these sorts of stoves. Is it to have a roll-up chimney for convenience, or is it a solid chimney which breaks down into small parts which fits inside your stove? So that's how the stove with the chimney looks set up. What it doesn't have, and I probably don't need it, but I bought one anyway, was a spark arrestor. I went out and bought this online. It was only a few pounds in a sale. And what I did, I had this on top just in case there was any sparks that came up or any lit pieces of debris, and so it didn't go on my tent. Now, whether that's necessary or not, I really don't know, but it just made me feel a bit happier. I'll give you a pro tip now, something I learnt myself. Before you assemble your chimney onto your stove, put that on the top first. I had to take all mine apart to do it and redo it and put it all back together. The added bonus of this is that it's got some rings on it. So if I want more stability on the stove, or for any reason I want to use it outside of a tent, because the chimney hole inside the tent actually holds this up. So if I wanted to use this without a tent, I could put this on the top and then put some guy lines on it. Hopefully they wouldn't burn, and then string it out, and that would give this stability so it doesn't go moving around. The other thing I learnt with the fold up chimney is that it's really, really, really loud. It's not really loud, it's really, really, really loud when you go to roll it up. Doesn't sound too loud here, but when you're on a campsite first thing in the morning, I packed away really early, and this is how it sounded. But it's impossible to do this quietly, so that's something to be mindful of. But for storage purposes, it's really easy and convenient to carry around. Now, a titanium wood stove is not cheap, and it's not for everyone. I think if you're the sort of person, you're not used to making fire, or you're not particularly serious about your camping, then it's something you need to stay away from. But for your serious campers out there who are going to do a lot of, say, hot tent camping, leisure camping, even in the summer, I can see me setting this up outside and then attaching some lanyards to it to keep the stovepipe in place, and just people getting around it in the evening when it gets a bit chilly, cooking on top of it. It's going to be an absolute winner. Like I said, it may not be for everyone. We need to talk about the trade-offs. The trade-offs of the convenience of having something that folds up really small. I mean, look at this. Even with that extra piece that I bought that I probably don't really need, put in there. The trade-off of having the portability and the lightweightness of this is that you do have to assemble it, you do have to put the pipe together. But like I say, that's just the trade-off. I wanted to talk about this mat briefly. I bought this off of Amazon. Shake them off. It's a fire-resistant mat. So if any little ashes come out, the idea is it doesn't burn the ground or burn anything that you're on. I've only used it the once. I've noticed they didn't stitch it together very well. The stitching goes along okay. They completely missed this edge. It's not a deal breaker for me, but the quality of this is not great. But it was from Amazon. It's cheap enough, and it should do the job that I need it to do. Another advantage of having such a small pack size is that when I store this away, it takes up next to no space. So when I put this back in a home somewhere in my garage, I haven't decided where yet, but it doesn't take up much space at all. If this was a, let's try and get some more light. If this was a pre-assembled stove in a big square, then clearly it would take up a lot more space somewhere. This is going to live on a shelf, I think. So that was just my thought process really on using this beautiful titanium wood stove. If you're into outdoor cooking in your stoves, BCB cookers, pellets and all the rest of it, and you want to know what I'm going to do with this, or what insane idea I've got for a piece of cardboard, then feel free to subscribe, hit the like button and all the rest of it. I'll see you next time.